Welcome to Talkin' Jets. My name's Ryan, and I'll be your pilot tonight. I am joined alongside my co-pilots. I have Mr. Greenbean to my this way. I got Mr. Matt O'Leary to my that way. Greenbean, how you doing tonight?
Great, man. This is it. This is the last week. Technically speaking, it starts on Thursday. It's not the Jets, but we get NFL football on Thursday, and we get Jets football on Monday. This is the last little drips of frustration that we can have before the season starts. I'm in a good mood.
Matt, how you feeling tonight?
I'm ready. I'm amped up. I'm ready. One more episode of Hard Knocks, one more Hard Knocks reaction stream, and then it is New York Jets football for real by the time we're talking next week. It's going to be awesome.
All right, boys and girls, if you're just hopping in, make sure you hit that like button. And actually, you should hit those milk thumbs.
Milk thumbs.
Yeah!
Oh, Jesus. Milk's flying everywhere. So make sure you hit those milk thumbs.
Look at it all.
Love seeing those
Look at it.
go up. We also have a Discord. So the public, not the public, but the non-members get a chance to join the Discord now. That is pinned in the live chat. So if you'd like to join the the Discord. Oof, words are hard tonight. Join the Discord. Click on the link in the live chat, pinned in the comment section. I guess I'll also pin it. I'll pin it in the first comment if you're watching this after the fact too. We'll do that same thing.
Yeah.
And let's do our giveaway tonight from someone that joins the Discord. I think that's what we should do tonight. What do you guys think?
That works. Works for me.
So all you got to do is join the Discord, and boom, be qualified.
Entered.
But do you mean they join OnlyFans, or they actually sign up for the Discord?
No. All they have to do is click the little Discord link in the live chat, and then boom, they're in there.
All right. I can't keep track of that.
Yeah, they get to play with everything in the Discord, but there is an OnlyFans section. So the people that are, the premium members of the channel and whatnot, they get a few more perks and benefits and things of that nature. So if you guys want to head over that way, got some fun stuff over there. I think we got like 70 people in it just from like our dry run of it last week. So that's kind of cool. So make sure you head over that way.
Yeah. Totally.
All right, but we got game coming up. That's right. Week 1. Bills at Jets, Monday Night Football. It's about damn time, Matt. How you feeling about week 1?
Yeah, what a great way to open up the season, right? Against the opponent that you're likely chasing for the division, in the Buffalo Bills, who have owned the AFC East for the last few years. And the Jets beat them at home last year, lost to them on the road, but it was 2 very good games, and I would expect the same thing again this year. I think it's, 2 teams who are pretty evenly matched. It's going to be there's 2 really good quarterbacks, but 2 really good defenses also. So I'm really curious to see which one comes to play. Like, is it the offenses that show out, or is it that defense on both sides that, comes out and is really dominant in week 1 here? But I can't wait. It's been something we've been talking about. It feels like for years at this point. Like, I feel like we've known they were playing Buffalo and opening up the season at Buffalo for forever. And I cannot wait for this thing to get underway.
Greenbean, how you feeling about week 1?
I'll tell you, Matt said a lot, right? Like, so I agree with, but I have to say there's 2 things that I really want to see. Now, anything that leads to us winning, I'm totally fine with, right? But there's 2 things that I'm really hoping to see. One is I want to see the Jets absolutely brutalize their defensive line, brutalize the Bills offensive line. The Mitch Morses, the Dawkins of the world, all those guys. I want to see us, like, as the game progresses, just slowly but surely dominate, wear them down to a pulp, where in the fourth quarter, they know they're huffing, they're puffing, they're on their heels, they can't stop us, and we're just bringing in fresh dudes. Here comes Al Woods and Michael Clemens, all pissed off, all fresh from the sideline. Like, I want to see that sort of thing. I want to see us dominate their offensive line, subsequently taking away their running game and making Josh Allen make stupid mistakes like he likes to do when he's under pressure. And then offensively, again, whatever has to happen, I'm totally fine with, Gibson winning the game. It doesn't matter to me. But what I really want to see, I want to see the Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson connection start early and become lethal right before our eyes, starting against the Buffalo Bills. That's what I want to see. Now, I'd like to see the running game and Brees and Cook. I'm really curious how they're going to utilize those two guys. Is it just going to be a steady rotation? Are we going to see lean more one way or the other? I'm very curious and interested in that. But again, I want this season offensively to be the season of Aaron Rodgers to Garrett Wilson out front of everything else, and I want it to start in a big way week 1.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what to expect. I think the spread was 2.5 points in favor of the Bills, so I'm going to hammer the Jets all damn day. You're telling me the Jets beat the Bills last year without Brees, without AVT, without Corey Davis, with Zach Wilson throwing 150 yards? Yeah, I think we can win with all those guys back, minus Corey Davis, and Aaron Rodgers at the helm. So I think that's going to be absolutely huge. As far as the over under, I believe it's set at like 47 or 48 points. It's somewhere hovering right around there. I would take the under. I don't think this is going to be a high flying game. I don't think we're going to see the huge explosive 350 yard game from Aaron Rodgers this game, because Buffalo does have a pretty good secondary. And I know Von Miller's out, so we're going to have a little bit more time. That's going to help our offensive line for sure. I mean, it's going to take a few weeks for our offensive line to gel. So no Von Miller definitely helps the Jets in this particular situation. Now, as far as what I expect to have happen, look, Josh Allen is studly. He's a good quarterback. Best way to stop a good quarterback, 1, put him on his ass. 2, keep him off the field. Run the ball. Dalvin Cook and Breece Hall, I want to see that 1-2 punch just run loose. I want 300 yards on the ground. If Aaron Rodgers can have 75 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and we have 350 yards on the ground, I'll take that all damn day. I don't have to utilize the passing game if we can keep Josh Allen off the field and we could just run it down their throat. That's kind of how we beat them last year, too. I mean, you saw James Robinson in his only action of last year was feeding him the rock later in the game and just running clock on it. So I would love to see it. Matt, do you think it's going to be more of a running style game, or you think we're going to see more of the passing side of things?
Yeah, well, I was looking earlier today, the difference between the 2 times the Jets played the Bills. And the game they won, they ran the ball 34 times. And the game they lost, they ran it 22 times. I think they're going to run it somewhere in the high 20s. So I think they will lean on the run game a little bit. I think 30-plus runs is a lot, and that feels a little high. But I do think they're going to want to try to get both Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook active and going early and often. And Michael Carter too. Can't forget him, mixing, him in the bunch there as well. But I don't think Rodgers is throwing the ball more than, 32 times in this game. I don't think he's going to go out there and fire it 45 times for 400 yards.
What do you think, Greenby? Do you think it's going to be more of a running game? I know you want to see that connection with Rodgers and Wilson early. I think that's something we probably all want to see. So even if it doesn't, necessarily end up in points from those two.
Right. Yeah. And and it's funny, as you were saying that, I totally agree with that. I wasn't insinuating that I want to see a heavy pass, leaning pass, 50+ pass, ignoring the run. But I want to see the connection. When we pass, I want to see Garrett Wilson utilized early and often. But what I think, and what I hope, this is what I think the goal is, and I hope that it happens, okay, is that we are able to get to a point where we're up some, even if it's not that much, but where we are running the ball later in the game, similar to the game that you brought up, Ryan, the first game in Buffalo with James Robinson. I mean, that 1 fourth quarter drive, we literally pounded it from deep in our own territory all the way down the field. We took care of almost the entire fourth quarter with that drive, and you could see it. The Bills were beaten. They were huffing and puffing, and if we can get that sort of thing going, and that's where the running game really starts to accrue its numerical stats, I think that would be optimal. But I think they're going to try to establish it early, man. Like you said, keeping them off the field is always key. Time of possession is key, man. And we saw such a porous, attempt at that last year. Our offense was out there 3 plays and the defense was back on the field. We saw it time and time and time again. So the ability to keep their offense off the field, keep our defense fresh, is going to pay dividends.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know if you caught yourself saying it. The Bills were huffing and puffing. I want to put them in a position where Huff gets to huff and puff all over these offensive tackles late in the game. Right?
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe we should call him Bryce Hufflepuff.
Bryce Hufflepuff. I do want to see, dude, late in the game, you're talking about fresh pass rushers against Josh Allen. Dude, those tackles are going to be tired. We're like 6 deep on the edge rush side of things. It's going to be exciting. Matt, you think Huff's going to get after it this time?
Yeah, I do. I mean, he had the huge play in that game the first time. And I do think the Jets are going to be playing with a lead in this game. So that would then mean Buffalo is going to have to try to throw them to get back into it. And I think that's a perfect time for, Bryce Huff and the rest of those guys to scream off the edge and make some noise. I think Huff's a good one to get in and get a sack. And if Will McDonald's getting his action, maybe him too in his first game.
Will McDonald.
Buddy.
Almost forgot about him.
Right? Blitz crew.
With all the Hufflepuff talk, I forgot about
Will. Excited. Let's see. It's Blitz crew hopping in. He says, love the milk thumb graphic. Can we see it multiples? If we hit 50, people are going to start talking about the other offensive lines in the AFC and our defensive line. Yeah, 100%. So if we get up to, let's get up to 100 likes. You guys get up to 100 likes, I'll show the milk thumbs graphic again. We've got 245 in here right now. I know you guys can get us up over that. Get us up to 100. I want to see the milk thumbs graphic. I might just play it anyway. But
Ryan, now real quick, am I not keeping tabs on all these folks tonight?
Let's keep tabs of the super chats because I do still feel like we should acknowledge those as well. But those that are joining the Discord, you guys are going to be entered into our giveaway for tonight. So that's our way of trying to push some people over to the Discord. So that's pinned in the live chat if you guys would like to join that. Totally cool. Got a bunch of people in there already. Excited to see who pops in. We got a bunch of people joining already. 1, 2. I see AJ Spaz, Diz Ode, Biker Ray, Gangrene 44, L Shonder, Mike, nice. Bryce, Fern Dog, Leonardo, Squirmy Weasel. All you guys joining in. Love it.
Squirmy
Weasel. We're at 96. Just 4 more likes. And you get to see the milk thumbs. Wait to see what happens when OnlyFans pops up. Someone joins the OnlyFans. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's going to be so good.
So good. 3 more likes. It's right there. I know they're there. They're listening. Unless they're afraid of the milk.
They got us.
Oh, we're at 99. Here we go. Milk thumbs.
It tickles me.
I just get covered every time I didn't like think about that graphic when I'm just getting splattered every time that pops up.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you're getting destroyed, buddy.
It's so good. That's all right. So anyway, Blitzkrieg saying people are going to start talking about other offensive lines in the AFC and our defensive line. Look, I think they're already talking about that. Our defensive line could be the best one in the league. And I think when you're looking at matchups, it all starts in the trenches. Like, we're going to be concerned a little bit about our offensive line until we can prove that we can stay healthy and play as a unit, because we haven't really seen these guys play together very frequently. So they're obviously going to be talking about that. Do you think, Matt, they're going to be talking more about our defensive line and other teams' offensive lines by 4 games into the season, let's say?
Yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to start that narrative already about talking about the other offensive lines in the AFC East, because it feels like the Jets are the only line that gets talked about in this, negative light, where there's some issues with all these teams and their offensive line. The Patriots lost their right tackle. He went to IR. So that's a little sketchy. The Buffalo Bills have a turnstile and Spencer Brown playing right tackle. And the Miami Dolphins, they have Teron Armstead, who's due to miss 5 games every year, starting at left tackle. So I don't know. All I hear is that the Jets can't win anything because their offensive line's so bad, but I don't hear boo about these other teams. So I already want to start pushing that narrative.
Ben Elmore comes in with the super chat, says Buffalo Bills more like hospital bills after our D line is done with them. Greenbean, you think these Bills are leaving in a body bag?
Body bag. We're not allowed to say that anymore, Mr. Elmore. We're not allowed to talk
Really?
like that. We're not
Oh,
allowed to
oops.
hit. We're not allowed to say things that are mean
Do you think
about
we'll
the
pull
other
their
team.
flags off of them for their flag football game? Is that
That's
what
what I think. Ben, we're going to repackage your question to, do we think that we will aggressively pull their flags from their hips? And the answer is yes. We're going to pull those flags. Yeah, dude, I hope, I mean, look, I don't want anybody to get injured, and that's sincere, right? But I hope we knock the living hell out of them. I want teams to leave playing the New York Jets like, holy shit, they're on another level. Like they're here to destroy everybody. And that's what I want to see. And if there's a few penalties here and there, I did a video a couple years ago, maybe last year or whatever, like identifying, like really looking into the types of penalties that linemen, both on the defensive and offensive line, get called for. What are they? Like we look, oh, the guy has, 8 penalties and this, but what are they? Is it holding? Is it, unnecessary roughness for those types of guys? And there are penalties that are tone setters that you kind of need. Not that I want to be penalized, of course, but there are the types of penalties that kind of set a tone and let
first and
teams
goal
know
on the
that
one? Our defense smacks the center in the mouth.
yeah, right.
Jumps
You know
off
what I mean?
sides.
Legal hand. Yeah. Like those kinds of things that set the tone for the whole game and let them know. We all know the term hearing footsteps. Well, what makes a wide receiver or any receiver, a back, a tight end, whoever, hear footsteps? It's getting rocked. That's what it is. And when they're going over the middle the next time, they think about that. It's inherent. And I played football and I've done that. I remember that feeling, wondering where that son of a bitch that made me see stars, where is he? You know what I mean? Kind of checking, and you can drop passes that way. You make silly mistakes that way. And hitting's part of the game. I hope the NFL doesn't make it a touch league before too long, because it's definitely heading in a softer direction. But for this week, we're going to see some hitting, and I hope it's a lot of it. And without the body bags, I do hope that there's some blood, some bruises, things like that.
Douglas, I'm going to have you hop the line. I'll get to James Blitz and Candy Boot in just a second. Douglas drops in with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, I see it going one of two ways. Either the Bills will get steamrolled 34-7 with a touchdown in garbage time to avoid the shutout, or it's going to be a close back and forth 2017 Jets win. One thing that I feel very confident about is our special teams compared to where it's been the last few years. Now, last year we had Zerline, obviously, so I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with him, but dude has been automatic in training camp this entire offseason. So I'm feeling good. I would love to see the blowout. I would love nothing more than to send a statement on national TV. Matt, what do you think we're going to see? You think it's going to be closer to that 34-7, or you think it's going to be closer to the 2017 kind of game?
Closer to the second one. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. 23-20, something like that. 24-17. Maybe it's a touchdown. One score game. I would say it's a one score game. I don't think either one of these teams is significantly better than the other to the point where it's going to be a 2-score game.
Green Bean, what about you? You think it's going to be closer to that 34-7, or you think it's going to be closer to that 20-17 type score?
I do think it's going to end up being closer to the second, the latter. But I get the point by Douglas. I can totally see what you're saying. And it's one of those types of situations where, we've seen it many times. Teams just get on a roll and the other team just can't seem to get out of their way. Momentum is a big one. Unquantifiable up to this point in our day and age. We haven't figured out how to take a pill and create momentum, or statistically, really, assess momentum, but it's real. It's very real. It's a very real thing. The ball bounces the wrong way when the momentum's going against you. Everything just seems to happen the wrong way. And if that sort of thing takes place with all the energy in MetLife, which I believe is going to be extremely high, potentially the highest ever for a Jets game. I think this game has the potential to be the loudest MetLife has ever been for a Jets game. And I think with all of that, 9/11, Monday night, all those types of factors, if there is the beginning of a roll, I could see it turning into a route where the Bills are just kind of demoralized. That said, I think it's more likely that we'll see a 2017 type of a game, maybe, 28-17, something like that. But I do think we're going to win, and I think we're going to win in a confident way. I don't think we're going to be lucking out in this one. I think we're going to beat them up.
I think it's going to be a 2-score game with the final drive coming from Buffalo, and they're going to need like an onside kick to make it close. Jets are going to win by 4 points at the end of this game after the Bills score. Not in garbage time, but like Jets aren't going to be really trying to stop it. That's what I'm hoping for. Boys and girls, we are doing a giveaway at the end of the show. All you got to do is join the Discord. We started a new Talkin' Jets Discord, so if you want to check that out, it's pinned in the live chat. Make sure you head over there. We're moving on to James. James hops in with a super chat. Thank you so much. He says, people tend to forget the Bills have never seen Breece Hall. And if we win the toss, would you rather see the offense or defense first? Let's go Jets. I think if we win the toss, we're definitely sending our defense out first. We're going to try and set the tone against Buffalo early. I don't think we're going to send Rodgers out there first, because if we do that and it like kind of flops initially, then I think it's going to be a little bit more of like a kind of mentality. And you might see momentum swing in like an unnecessary way. Green Bean, I'll throw this one to you first. What do you think, offense or defense first?
I like your logic. I was initially thinking that they would want to just stick Rodgers out there and kind of capitalize on the early, loudness of the stadium and everything, and just use that momentum. If Rodgers is able to, go out there on the backs of the 12th man and just drive down the field and score a touchdown, that alone might be too much for the Bills to come back from for a while. So, but I think you might be right. I think they'll send the defense out. It's kind of the hallmark of our team, the Aaron Rodgers piece, the offense. I think we're gonna take a little bit of time to really set that up. But I could see it going both ways. But I think you're probably right.
How do you think the Bills handle Breece Hall, Green Bean? That was the other part of this question too. I don't want to glance over.
Well, that's a great point. They've never seen Breece Hall. I just don't, I'm still interested to see how much they're going to run him week one, especially having Dalvin Cook and Michael Carter ready to go. I don't know. I'd love to see Breece Hall just kind of take off and show what he is right away. He had a rough game one last year. Granted, it was his first ever game in the NFL. He had that dropped pass. He had a couple, he didn't look all that wonderful week one. But I don't know. I think he's a game changer. So who knows, man? Who knows? It's gonna be fun to learn this one.
Matt, how you feeling? You think you send in the offense or defense out first?
To me, it's more about getting the ball at the after halftime. So that's why I want to do it more so than putting either the offense or defense out on the field first to set some kind of statement. I want the ball to start the second half. So I would always defer. That's just my preference, especially because teams like New England in their heyday and now Kansas City, they do it a lot. Like you go down and score right before the half, and then you get the ball at a halftime, and like that's how it's like, oh, you're still kind of hanging in this game. It's like 13-6, and then you blink and it's like 24-6. Then after they score right before the half and then put up some more points to open the third quarter. And with Breece, I don't know how much usage he's going to get in this one. Last year in the first game of the year, he had 6 carries. He's coming off the injury. I would think Dalvin gets a few more, but maybe somewhere like 8 to 10 carries for Breece Hall would be my guess.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like 15 touches or like targets included in that. So like if Breece is targeted like 15 times between rushes and, aerial passing targets, that's kind of what I'd like to see. Some plus or minus, a little bit. I think they do err on a little bit more side of caution with Hall. And I agree. I would send the defense out first normally anyway. Even if Rodgers was not here, I like the ball after half. But I think as much as fans want to see Rodgers right now, imagine how loud that stadium's going to be if you shut down Josh Allen and then you send Rodgers out on the field and then you score a touchdown and you're getting the ball back after half. That's like the best part about it is like, God forbid something goes wrong in the first half, you're at least getting the ball at the beginning of the second half to try and set the tone and swing momentum the other way. So I think that is very, very important. And we just got Blitz Crew donating 5 OnlyFans memberships. So guess what you get to see?
Do it!
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Champagne everywhere. Only the best. Thank you, Blitz Crew. You're the man.
Stuff.
And boys and girls, if you're hopping into the chat for the first time, make sure
Milk thumbs.
you hit those milk thumbs. I want to see it. Let's get this up over 200 likes. We got over 340 people in the chat right now. But we move on. Blitz Crew hops in. Blitz Crew, thank you so much for the super chat and for all the memberships you just donated. Thoughts on the Green Mile for the defensive line, nickname as in death row for quarterbacks and running backs. Green Mile's good. I like that. What was it? It was like the New York Sack Exchange, but it was like slightly different, right? Like it was a sack with a Q, I think, is what we sort of.
That reminded me.
Yes.
Okay, I've had someone call in for like 3 weeks in a row, and has very much so wanted me to let you guys know that he has the name. So this one's for Blaze. He wants it to be Monsters of Destruction.
Okay.
Oh, I heard that call. Yeah.
Yeah, he called in again this week, so I wanted to.
He's doubled down
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Monsters of Destruction. We should
do
do
you
a
think-
poll. I mean, I wonder what's going to stick. The Green Mile's good. I got to say.
Let's see.
You know, making
let's
it
do
like
this.
it's.
We'll throw a poll question in there. We'll do nickname for D-line. We'll say Green Mile. What was the other one, Matt?
The Monsters of Destruction. The Mod Squad.
Yeah, right.
Destruction. Hopefully I spelled that right. That's not right. That's a red squiggle right there. Oh, geez. We got Saks, Fifth Ave. Is Fifth spelt out or is it 5th?
What?
Is
what spell?
Saks, Fifth Ave. Is it F-I?
I think it's
like, is it spelt out or is it the number 5?
It's spelled out.
Spelled out. All
I
right.
just Googled it.
Fifth.
I don't know. I see it with a number here. Oh, spelled out there. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I see it both ways. That's weird. Let me do this.
All right. Poll question is in the chat. You guys can vote on that and also join the Discord at the same time. We got Candy Boot. Candy Boot coming in there saying, "Hey, Matt, why do I feel like the Billy Beeston character that calls your show is Green Bean playing with you? Haha, excited to for the season, boys, JETS." So this has got to be a frequent caller,
Billy-
Matt, I guess.
This is he has the last name wrong. It's Billy Billstein. Billy Billstein is a recurring caller on the, and his identity is unknown. I mean, we are not. I don't think it's Green Bean. Green Bean's a loyal listener. But I don't think he's a caller.
Have you ever seen Green Bean and Billy in the same location at the same time?
No, we've never seen Billy.
Right? See, well,
I don't know.
I've never seen you and them
Let me
together.
say this.
We had a
Let me
waitress
say
at,
this.
at our restaurant, and we never saw the waitress or the bear that was tearing up our garbage cans at the same time, so we just assumed it might have been the same person.
There you go. But I can say I have a suspicion that Green Bean and Billy Billstein have been seen in the same place at the same time, but I can't confirm. It's
Interesting.
not me. That much I'll tell you.
It's Green Bean's alter ego. Andrew Yale drops in, says, "How sweet will the 80s jerseys be under the lights? Let's effing go." Yeah, those throwbacks with, Aaron Rodgers donning it, Monday Night Football, national TV. I just want Monday to get here so bad. It's like Christmas morning, and I'm just like chomping at the bit the entire week leading up to it, and I can't wait. So, Andrew, we're all right there with you. Blitz Crew drops in, says, "Ryan, these new graphics, you like facials, huh?" Yeah, when I built it, there was like a green screen component to that. And it never occurred to me that I'm in the middle of this screen. So yeah, yep, yes. I'm not going to say the word out loud, but yep. Douglas drops in with a super chat. Douglas says, "First weekend of college football is over. Who do you want us to take with the 64th pick?" By the way, Milk Thumbs, utterly ridiculous.
Milk thumbs.
Oh, utterly.
Okay, so who do I want us to take? Look, I'll be honest, I didn't watch super closely other than like the extreme highlights of like Colorado versus TCU and like Caleb
That was
Williams
awesome.
just doing his thing. Incredible, dude. Like, there's some really special players coming out, and there's a really good shot that the Cardinals are going to have like 2 or 3 top 5 picks by the time this is all said and done. It's or actually, well, they wouldn't have 2 or 3; it would be 2. The Texans already have potentially 2. Just nuts. There could be a team that winds up with Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison Jr. Matt, what'd you think of this past college football weekend?
Yes, I was watching the Colorado TCU game, and I was glad that I was tuned in for it. It was an epic game. The kid who could play 2 ways at
Oh,
corner and wide receiver was unbelievable. And Dion's son can play, man. I was curious to see how he would transfer over. Like Jackson State, obviously the competition level is not necessarily the same as what Colorado is. So like I knew he was putting up good numbers there, but I was curious to see what it would be like, against some steeper competition. And he balled out. He threw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns. The guy's an animal.
absolutely insane. Green Bean, you watch any college football this past weekend?
Only a little. I got to watch some of the Florida State game, but I wasn't able to watch the whole game, and I wasn't able to watch much more than that. But I did watch highlights, so I support what is being said. Amazing stuff. It's going to be really great to look into some of these guys. And like you mentioned, the Cardinals, dude. Did you see Gannon, the big speech from Gannon to the Cardinals? Did you see
I
that?
did not. No, I did
Oh,
not.
that was brutal. Oh my God.
Brutal,
That was terrible.
dude. I mean, I was
Adam
almost
Gase
thinking
like.
it was like this can't be real. Like that's what I was thinking. Anybody drive here
Yeah.
today? Let me take the bus
Take the
because it's
bus.
about winning. What the fuck are we
It
talking
was
about? And they were
I
showing the
imagine
players. They were
that's
just
what
like,
that's got to be what a Gase
"Go on."
team meeting was like, right?
Just awkward.
Well, if
Yeah.
Jamal Adams was, Jamal Adams said he didn't have those. Remember, never addressed the team. Probably that's why,
Oh, maybe.
because
Yeah.
that's what he sounded
Probably.
like. So
Yo,
the
real quick.
Cardinals are tanking, man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, there's
100%.
no way.
No, they made
There's
Kyler
just
a
no way.
captain for like show purposes more than anything else. Because dude, they're shipping his ass off as soon as they get done with the season. They're probably gonna like, they're like, oh, he might be able to come back, or we'll IR him, or we're gonna field such a horrible team that he can't have success, and we're gonna guarantee ourselves the first overall pick. They're definitely gunning for
Yeah.
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, no doubt.
Agree.
That
No
kid's
doubt.
special too. Some of the shit he does, like Mahomes-esque, like another step up. Even like I know, obviously he's got to do it in the NFL for it to be anything like that, but crazy stuff. What did you guys think? I saw something in relation to it was the Connor McGovern comments with we got the bad apples off the team. Do you think he was
Yeah.
specifically talking about Elijah Moore and Denzel Mims, or do you think there's other players involved in there? And if so, who do you think they were? Matt, I'll throw it to you first.
Yeah. So I was joking when I don't know if I tweeted it. I sent to someone. I think someone sent it to me. I was like, he's got to be talking about Darnold, right? Joking because obviously, I mean, like, I think more Mims, Adams wasn't really. They didn't really overlap.
It was like
It was
4
like a couple
months when
months.
Connor
They didn't.
first got here, right? Like they never
Yeah.
actually played together.
Yeah. I'm trying to
gotta
think
be
if
Elijah,
anyone
right?
else. I guess. I guess so. Like, there's no one else unless there's some like guy.
LaFleur?
Braden
maybe?
Man was Braden Man the locker room cancer.
You son of a bitch! You
No,
cost us
it's-
Trevor Lawrence.
Everybody yelling at him all the time. Maybe it was Nathan Shepard.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, what do
It
you
was
think? Green?
Elijah Moore and Mike LaFleur. That's who it was. It was Elijah Moore and Mike LaFleur. Because, the team was obviously not happy with Elijah Moore, whether they're friends with him or not, that whole thing. But LaFleur was uninspiring, didn't develop anybody, was kind of stuck in his little routines, and they noticed that stuff. And, it's like, I'm sure Elijah Moore, again, while I don't support or agree with anything that he did, the way he carried himself, I'm sure he was merely the voice of a lot of feelings going around inside the locker room there. So some guys are going to be able to hold themselves more professionally. He was not, for myriad reasons. We know about his agent and the other receivers, and he's friends with A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf and Deebo Samuel, all those guys who stomped their feet last year as well. So I think he's more likely referencing those two individuals because they were, there was a rift there. Everybody, they're all in the same building. The term, there's a pink elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
It's that's what was going on. They probably felt it every week, especially during a losing streak.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can feel when there's an awkward tension, and I feel like the LaFleur Moore dynamic more than anything else was the tipping point. Once Moore went off when we were on a winning streak, that was the kiss of death. And it seemed like originally I was like, man, some of these players got to be a little irritated because I'm sure Moore was vocalizing what some of them might have been feeling. But then like, oh, we want to keep him on the team. We now are about to get like Aaron Rodgers, and then he's gone, and it's like, oh wait, what's going on? But it seems like this team's kind of like clearly they're all moving in the same direction, and it's across the coaching staff, it's across the players. So I really liked what McGovern said. Makes me feel better about the locker room, better than I already felt. Crossfire jumps in. He says, when are we thinking about giving away the 2 tickets that Crossfire is donating to the group by Jets Chargers November 6th, Monday Night Football? Crossfire bought 2 tickets. We're going to give those away. Crossfire, I'm thinking a month in advance. So let's give them away the beginning of October. I think that's enough time for someone to kind of organize themselves to get here. What do you think, Green Bean? You think a month is good?
I say we wait until Crossfire literally can't take it anymore. He's demanding that we give him away.
The day of.
Yeah.
Week before.
We forgot to do it. Yeah, we forgot. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that sounds good. A month.
What do you think, man? A month before?
Want to be like, yeah, like we're the excitement for that game. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like the excitement's not built there yet because we're just excited for week 1, let alone like week 9. We got some time on.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think that makes a ton of sense. There's, a few home games that they're going to play before that, but you want to give them enough time to get things in order for the giveaway if they're traveling a certain distance to get there and stuff. So, yeah, I'm good with like a month before, early October. Sure.
Maybe we create a channel within our Discord, and anyone that wants to be qualified for those tickets posts in that Discord channel. I think that's what we'll want.
That's a way to do it.
Because then at least we get people over to the Discord, and we kind of pick from people that can actually go. Like I would hate to pick someone that like the same reason we gave away the training camp tickets. We want to give them to someone that can actually go to it. We don't want to give them away to someone that's like, oh, I'm just gonna not actually show up. It doesn't matter. We want people to be there and show out.
Of course.
So yes, Crossfire. We will definitely do that. We're excited. Party with Peg and Artie. What's up, guys? Says, we've waited months. This Aaron Rodgers drama, then waited for camp. Now we're down to 6 days. Let's effing go. Party with Peg and Artie. Completely agree. Way too amped up. I've been telling you guys, I'm wearing my playoff underwear since the last time we went to the playoffs, and Daddy needs a new pair of underwear. So we got to get to these playoffs because I'm smelling stanky right now. Oh, glad to have you.
Oh, hey. Got to do what you got to do, right? We all take one for the team.
I was trying to. I think I have odd things growing in my pants now. That sounds weird. Oh, no. Horatio hanging in here says, any chance Davis returns for the playoffs? I've heard this comment brought up a few times. Could Corey Davis come out of retirement and get back on the field closer to the playoffs? I think I would welcome him with open arms because, at that point, you're not taking on the $10.5 million cap hit. You're only taking on whatever is remaining of the season. So if it was 10.5 divided by 17, however many games, that's what it would wind up being. I'm all about it. I don't know how in football shape he'll be and like how ready he'll be to go. But if we sustain an injury, especially one to like Lazard or one of those types of players, I would welcome Corey Davis back. I think he's probably done though. I don't think he's going to come out of retirement. Matt, what do you think about Corey Davis? You think he comes out of retirement for the playoffs?
Well, I think it's interesting the phrasing that they use. Like they didn't necessarily say retired, they said he's stepping away. So if whatever happens or whatever's going on in his life is cleared up and he wants to return, and I mean he's still under contract with the Jets, then possibly, but I don't know. Again, we have no idea what's going on and why he wanted to step away in the first place. But I would think that's a pretty quick turnaround for him to come right back and play in a couple months from now.
Greeny, what do you think? Dave's coming out of retirement or coming back from his time away? Come back for the playoffs?
It's going to be hard it's going to be tough when we already have Mike Evans, on the roster. The trade.
Right? We're going to be trading. I wonder if they go to. Do you think they go to Davis? They say, okay, one last chance. You want to come back? Otherwise, we're pulling the trigger on this trade. Or just like
maybe he comes back and we trade him to the Bucks in the package for Mike Evans, and then he retires on them.
That would be great. It's like, hey, I want to retire down in Florida. Perfect. You're going down that way for Mike Evans. Love it. Greg hops in with his member super chat. Thank you so much, Greg. He says Thursday night is a good scouting mission to prepare for week 3 when we beat Kansas City. It's actually week 4. When we beat Kansas City, we will have arrived. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of eyes on the Jets, specifically week 1. Week 2, I guess because we're against Dallas, and Dallas always draws a big crowd. But I feel like if you can take care of the AFC opponents, being the Bills, the Patriots, the Chiefs, the Broncos, those 4, if you could pick 4 games to win, those would be the 4 you want to do. And if you could wind up beating Kansas City, that would be great. Travis Kelce has an ACL. Everything's intact, but I guess he got like a knee hyperextension or something like that. So he's going to be a little gimpy. I don't think he's going to play this Thursday. Who knows if this is like a lingering issue. But I would say this, the Jets defense, I trust them against any team's offense in the NFL, including Kansas City. And it's just a matter of can our offense put up points on Kansas City's defense? And I think with Aaron Rodgers, we can. Matt, what are your thoughts about the scouting mission that we can see for Thursday night when we go against Kansas City week 4?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's someone that you should keep a close eye on. Like that's obviously an opponent that's coming up relatively soon. It's early on in the season. We don't know the extent of Travis Kelce's injury. I don't think he plays on Thursday, but who knows if he's back for week 4 and he's their best offensive player, not named Patrick Mahomes. So it's going to be really important for him to be in the lineup. And I'm sure their offense would look really, really different with him versus without him. But yeah, you kind of know what you're getting, right? They focus on the tight end, and Patrick Mahomes is just on a level of his own and can do things that no one else on this planet can do. So the recipe, I think, stays pretty similar. You got to get home with your 4, and everyone's got to be able to cover. So the Jets luckily have a very, very good pass rush and guys who can cover. So I think it should be a great game.
Green Bean, what do you think? Good scouting opportunity for the Jets this Thursday night?
Yeah, but I agree with the Kels sentiment. It's he's a stud. And you know what? I would hate to see him play gimpy because and this is my old PTSD coming back. Generally speaking, when there's a guy that's kind of, banged up, but he's playing anyway, he tends to have hero ball games against the Jets. And I don't want to see anything like that. So, I'm rooting for him not to be able, to be so injured that he can't play this season or that it just lingers and all that sort of stuff. But, I think we're going to see a lot of what they can do without him week 1. Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney and those guys. Let's see what they can pull together, for 2023. I mean, they're going to be a good offense with Mahomes back there, but I think Kelce is a big deal for that offense. So if he's out, it's going to be real interesting to see how they perform without him. So I think it's a great opportunity to take a look and kind of pre-scout this team that we're going to be playing. Not looking ahead, of course. We're not allowed to do that. We stay with the week that we're on. We know the rules. But it's still going to be fun to see them, knowing that we play them in the very near future.
Crossfire wanted to hop in and said he's going on a cruise between October 5th and 14th. So anytime after that or before that. So I think we go before October 5th. So that way we give people like that extra little bit of time there, Crossfire. Where are you going on a cruise, by the way? I want to know. So throw that in the chat. I'll
Put it in a poll. Where's he going?
Yeah, where do we think Crossfire's going? Bahamas?
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, he's never going to come back then. We don't want to see that. We want him back.
No, I don't want to see that.
Iceland.
Well, it's summer, so I don't know, man. Maybe you
You'd
take
go-
a break from summer and you go to Alaska.
That'd be cool.
Mm.
I've heard Alaska's beautiful. I've never been up that way.
Oh, I did it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I want to go to.
Amazing.
Oh, dang it! What the heck's the name of that beautiful place in Canada with the awesome clear water? I'm gonna know it. It's a popular place.
I don't know. Did I ever
Not
tell you
Canada?
guys this story about my cruise to Alaska?
Crossfire says Nova Scotia.
Let's hear it.
Nova Scotia.
Oh, very cool.
There you go. Yeah, when I went to Alaska, I went with my then girlfriend's family. I wasn't married yet, so I was like still getting to know this family, and they took me on a cruise with them up to Alaska. And I had a lot of this was me just coming out of my previous life of troublesome, meddling green bean, right? So I said, there was still some potential outstanding warrants around the country and stuff that I was trying to take care of. So I told my wife that there's the potential that they're going to get me. Right. So, I tried to take care of everything I could. I got my passport, so I seemed good. But when we came back, we did the whole trip and we came back into port in Seattle. We got a knock on our cabin door at like 5 a.m. Right. And then they're like, is, my name, there was Kyle in there. And I was like, oh, shit. She's like, what's going on? I said, I'm getting arrested. So I opened the door. Seattle police, U.S. Customs, and Norwegian head of security were there, and they did this whole thing. And I talked my way out. They came there to arrest me, but it would happen to be the day I had 18 months sober. And the Seattle police officer who was kind of running the show, his cousin was an addict on the streets in Seattle. And then the conversation turned into this, how did I do it? And he just said, hey, look, we're not going to ruin that streak. Go take care of this warrant. It's in Los Angeles. And we're going to let you go. So they ended up letting me go because of the guy's, feelings on addiction. He was very emotional. It was interesting, but they came to get me, man.
No, that's really cool. Now, did you take care of the warrant, or did you like dip out after that?
No, I'm on the run still.
I'm just, you were hiding in the woods in California.
That's why I live
he's
in
not allowed
Virginia,
back
man.
in Cali.
Yeah, that's the real reason the roller coaster tour ended.
Yeah, no, that's what I took care of all that stuff. Yeah, I had to take care of that. In order, I couldn't get, I couldn't get a driver's license. I couldn't get, lots of things. I had to take care of it all. I had thousands and thousands of dollars. I had warrants I had 3 cities in New Jersey. I had 2 or 3 in Los Angeles County. I had a Las Vegas warrant and maybe somewhere else. I was running around a lot making trouble, But yeah, I had to clean all that stuff up.
So what Crossfire was talking about just before this was our group buy. Link is in the description.
Yeah.
If you guys would like to come with us to Jets Chargers Monday Night Football, we got tickets available. We're going on the field pregame, going to tailgate, Joe's tailgate beforehand. We're pumped on it. We're going to have a huge crew of people coming out. Crossfire is giving away 2 tickets that we're going to give away either at, we'll call it the end of September, whatever that show is prior to that October 5th date. That'll be when we actually give away the tickets. That way, Crossfire, you can see who we give them away to, and should be a lot of fun. Get a shirt, hang out with us. It's a good time.
October 3rd.
See, I love how
Does that fit?
Crossfire deliberately planned his cruise around the Talking Jet show.
Yeah, October 3rd is a Tuesday, so I guess that works, right?
I think so. So Crossfire, October 3rd. It's when the giveaway's happening. And now we've got
There you go.
421 people in this chat. We don't even have 200 likes. Boys and girls,
Milk thumbs.
hit those milk thumbs. Let's get the likes going up in here. Want to see it.
It's so good.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It's so good.
It's the kind of chaos you
What's
see over
better?
here.
Do you like that or the freeze better?
Ooh, I really like the freeze. The freeze like has some power to it. The milk thumbs though, like little behind the scenes action here. I was telling Matt and Green Bean how I had to come up with this. I was going through our old streams and I was trying to find an audio clip of Green Bean making the sucking sound, and then I YouTubed sucking sounds, and that was a horrible idea. So I'm like, I'm trying to strip the audio from it. I'm like, this isn't going to be good. So this is like 1 o'clock at night. I got my headphones in, and I was like, oh, you know what? I was like, I can just film myself doing this, and I'll just take the audio from that. So Becca's laying right next to me. I go, milk the. And Becca's like, the hell are you doing? I was like, I'm deranged. I'm sorry. This is so stupid. I had brought my laptop to work today. I was like, yo, you got to check this out. This is the most ridiculous thing ever. They're like, how are you hired here? Why do you have a job? You're ridiculous. I would say I like the freeze.
Yeah,
the freeze.
Something special about getting cut off mid-sentence.
There is. I've become very used to it. You know, anytime there's a $10 or above super chat, I tend to be talking, and Ryan's like, "Hey!" It's like, okay. But the freeze is brilliant. Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, I got to do a bio break right now. Freeze me, so show everybody what it looks like. I'll be right
back. Boom! Green bean, freeze bean, frozen beans.
I love it. See, because his face comes up, it does the little frozen frosty sound effect. He can't talk. There's a countdown. They're all very, very good. But I think freeze is the top tier for me.
It's such a good one. I do thoroughly enjoy the chicken. I'm a big fan of chicken. We don't use it on this show. That's mainly like getting ejected from the call-in show, though. I should do it when we get a comment that we don't like. That really should happen more frequently.
Yeah.
Disappointed in myself.
No, but we can do our own gimmicks and stuff. I like it.
We can. I like this. Any of the, like, if you guys come up with anything that you think would be really fun, we can have some fun with that. And, ooh, Chrome, I see your comment. What is this, Around the Horn? This is actually, so Talkin' Jets was supposed to be an Around the Horn style show. And it was going to be, like, point-based and, like, elimination stuff. But we're actually, but, like, the AFC East Roundtable is doing something similar to that on Mondays. That's kind of cool. Blitzcrew hops in, says, do they still do those Jets cruises? I have no idea.
What's the Jet cruise?
Do you know anything about these Jets cruises?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I don't know. I'm cold. I'm frozen.
You're not frozen anymore. You're back.
I don't know. Jets cruises? I don't know about that. I know there's all kinds of rock and roll cruises and Kiss cruises and stuff, but I didn't heard about the Jets one.
I want to go on a Disney cruise when the girls get old enough. I feel like that would be magical.
Yeah.
Princesses and stuff. Bam.
Oh, yeah. That's the goods.
Oh, yeah. It looks like in like 2015 they did Jets cruises.
So just a tick under a decade ago. Good job, Blitzcrew. Gonna have to get on that.
Good memory.
I want to bring our attention to Scott Boder, gifting 10 OnlyFans memberships. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Scott. Boys and girls, drop your JETS in the chat. Check out all those new emojis. We got some F-bombs in there as well. And don't forget to click on the link in the live chat, the Discord, if you guys would like to join that. Totally free. And you get entered into our t-shirt giveaway or shirt jersey giveaway, depending on what the wheel ends up spinning onto. I'm going to end our poll right now. It looks like Saks Fifth Ave with 44% of the vote was the winner. It's so good. Green Mile did come up 30% though. So Blitzcrew was pretty much spot on there. New York Sack Exchange got 15%. That was with spelled with a Q. Monsters of Destruction 9%. That was 210 votes.
Yeah, I voted for the Saks Fifth Avenue. I think it's unique enough. I like the idea behind the Q in the Sack, but it's still the Sack Exchange. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Agreed. I think Saks Fifth Ave is just such a clean name for what this could be, especially since people were calling it Zach's Fifth Ave at one point. It just kind of like nice little transition into a better.
So I will say I feel for Blaze with the Monsters of Destruction, but he got 9%, so he's not alone.
That's solid.
You know,
not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
We've got Douglas coming in with super chat. Thank you, Douglas. This graphics you have are cool, but Jake Asman Shadow Realm is next level. It really is good. I really like his Shadow Realm. I was on there on Friday, and like the animation with Stewie and the Italian like, throwing the hands up and talking about the Giants podcast dude that was all upset about Aaron Rodgers and like, oh, he's soft. Love the Shadow Realm.
Oh yeah,
It's done well.
It's awesome.
It's done real well. I got to figure out how to make like mouths move on like cartoons and things like that because I feel like I could have fun with that.
Yeah, Gator does that stuff, man. We gotta get in touch with Gator.
Yeah, Gator.
Yeah.
If you're in the chat, I want to reach out to you. If not, I'll just reach out to you on Twitter and see if we can figure out something. Maybe you can make us like a Talkin Jets intro or something like that. That'd be kind of cool. Be fun.
Something.
See what he comes up with. We've got Blitz Crew asking us, what are they going to get for Kyler Murray? I don't know. I would not trade for Kyler if I was a team in need of a quarterback. Like, I don't like Kyler Murray, and it's mainly because you had to put in you must study at least 5 hours a week or whatever it is. Like,
Dude.
into his $150 million contract or $200 million contract, whatever you wind up signing. Like, if you have to put that type of stipulation into a contract, even though you pulled it out, if you have to put that in, don't give the guy the money. That is a horrible, 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 precedent to send, I think. And it sends a horrible message around the league. I don't know, Green Bean, what do you think Kyler Murray's worth?
Well, I agree with what you're saying, though. It's reminiscent of the LaMarcus Russell stuff. That the old story where the offensive coordinator gave him back in the days of DVDs, he gave him a DVD and said, "This is our game plan for whatever." And he said, "I want you to take a look at it, and I want you to tell me what you think." And he came back the next day or whatever, and he said, "Oh, I think it's great. I think it's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing." And there was nothing on it. So, it's kind of in that same pocket. Like, if you have to do that kind of stuff with the supposed leader, issue, man. Now, maybe you can overcome it. Okay, but there's an issue there. And the fact that they thought it important enough to put in the contract is a red flag. Now, I'm no contract guy, as you guys know. I can barely count to, once I get past 6, 7, I start to lose track. But it looks to me like Kyler Murray's contract is not fun for somebody that you don't believe is going to be able to, be a very effective starting quarterback for your team. So what are they going to get for him? Next year his cap hit is 51 million, then 45, then 55, then 43.
So let me rattle it off real quick. His cap hits if traded. Yeah, if traded, 2024 his cap hit would be 37 million. In 2025 his cap hit would be 29 million, just under 30 million. 2026 would be about, what is that? Just under 40 million. And the way his contract works is very similar to Patrick Mahomes. So each year in March, I think is it March 17th maybe? March 25th? March 22nd. On March 22nd of each year, so like in 2024, March 22nd, his 2025 salary is going to be guaranteed. So it's always working 1 year ahead. So it's not terrible if traded for, especially if the cap goes up the way we expect it to go up. But it's just a lot of money to pay to someone that you don't think is going to study your playbook.
Yeah. There you go. A little better than I see, but still not awesome. 37 million for a guy you're going to try to motivate to, you know what I mean? To learn your offense and be a part of the whole game plan. I don't know, man. And the injuries, dude.
He's a small guy.
Like little tiny fella.
So where do you think he goes, Matt? If you had to guess, if there was a team out there that would be making a move, which one do you kind of think might be the one to pull the trigger on him?
This is so hard because, like, would we have at this time last year? Would we have had the Jets trading for a quarterback? Probably not. So, Washington, maybe.
I could see Washington being one of those, depending on how Howell performs this year.
I think see that.
Vegas maybe could possibly be in that sort of realm. It kind of depends on what happens with McDaniels, I think. I don't think he's going to be there after this year. I think his ass is getting canned.
No, I'm with you.
What other teams, Green Bean? Or you, Matt?
Go ahead, Matt. Matt's on deck. He's got something ready.
I was gonna say, well, it also depends on where these teams finish in the standings because the quarterbacks coming out are interesting. But if you kind of find yourself in no man's land, I was gonna say Atlanta potentially.
Hmm. What about Miami if Tua can't stay healthy? I know they exercise his 5th-year option. Could that like possibly happen? Maybe.
It could. It could.
New
I mean,
England?
think about it. Well, I mean, look again.
Belichick just decides he wants to win, and he's not gonna get the record if Mac Jones keeps winning 6 games a year. So tries to go get a different quarterback.
Yeah, well, that's the whole right. It's like when you look at that kind of desperation move. I mean, it would be for a team. I think Miami would be more likely because they're, if something were to happen to Tua and then Mike White's ribs or ankles or wrists all break, they have a team that's built, to win. Like I think it would be more likely to see a team that could, hopefully squeeze the lemon of Kyler Murray, just inject him into the team and already have everything in place, as opposed to the Pats, who, I mean, I'm not overlooking them. They still freak me out. I'm not like, I think we're going to beat them this year, but for whatever reason, we just haven't, right? So I don't want to just assume. So they still scare me. But when you look at them on paper, they're not a very formidable offense. I don't know what Kyler Murray is going to, come into them. I think is not necessarily as attractive for whatever they're going to have to give up for him as maybe Miami. Miami would be in desperation mode and just kind of pull the trigger and figure whatever monetary stuff they have to figure out to do it. Where the Pats, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Miami traded a 1st-round pick for a quarterback that never took a snap for them in Tom Brady, with them, tampering with him. I saw a few people putting in the chat 49ers. There's no way he's getting traded within the division. That seems silly. Not happening.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well, unless they believe he's total turd sauce and they just like dump him on the Niners, they would love it.
I don't care. Would you trade Zach to the Patriots? I mean, maybe for the right price, but I would be terrified to trade Zach away within the division, because if you're wrong, then you're screwed.
Yeah, but when you know, you know. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, that's fair.
You can't live in fear. You can't let fear govern your choices, boys and girls.
I like that. That's a good line.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah, I mean, look, one of the things I do all the time, guys, is there's a little methodology that I employ when I have decisions to make. I ask myself this question: what would I do if I wasn't afraid? And then I go, and it clarifies things, man. Can't let fear govern. That's the rule.
So when I was a little bit younger, I saw this movie Middlemen back in, I don't know if I was in high school or I was in college at the time, but there's a line in it. And basically it's the whole concept of the movie is like the creation of like PayPal kind of, and like internet transactions. And these guys put a bunch of like nude photos of girls online and they wind up making a ton of money really fast. But anyway, they're talking to like one of these girls and they're like, do you regret anything? Whatever. And she goes, when I talk to people in old folks' homes and I say, what do you regret? It's the stuff they didn't do, not the stuff they did. So I always try to kind of think of it that way. It's like, all right, is this like going to cause me financial hardship? Am I going to like destroy my life? Or is this something I just got to like rip the Band-Aid off and do, and let's see like how it plays? And 9 times out of 10, I'll be like, let's figure it out. let's make it happen, because I'm not going to regret this later on.
Right. And that's the whole thing. Like, let me tell you guys something. So very recently, like 2 weeks ago, my little daughter, right, said to me this. This is what she said. So we were sitting on the couch, we're hanging out, father-daughter time. And she says, hey, remember when you told me on the RV trip that later in my life, I would look back and realize I had the coolest parents? And I said, yeah, I remember saying that. And she goes, I didn't know it would happen so quickly.
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow. Oh my God.
I almost started crying. I looked at her
That's
and
the
said,
coolest thing.
who told you to say that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You read that on the internet. You want me to put in a good word to Santa, don't you?
Yeah. But that's the whole thing. Like you said, dude, it's like, you don't think it was scary selling all my shit, getting in an RV and just driving. It was terrifying, but it was like, I don't regret it. I'm happy we did. I look at the pictures. My kids were essentially babies. They're adults. My son's got a mustache. He just dyed his hair red. I'm taking him to the Blue Ridge Metal Fest on this weekend. It's like, I don't even, he's going to be running rampant by himself. Like, I don't even know. He was a kid. Like, you only get so many chances, in life. Take it. If it falls apart, you lose some money comes, money goes, careers come and go, whatever it is, just live. That's what I learned. Live your life, everybody.
I love it.
That's
Matt,
great.
you want to add anything to that?
No, Green Bean is just almost making me cry over here thinking of all this stuff, man. Like these life lessons, like freaking go for it, dude. I love it.
Bearded. Oh, sorry, I forgot one. Sorry, Phil. I just had yours up and I clicked off it. Who do you think will be the focus of Hard Knocks tonight, Matt?
I think the players making the team. Like they showed the Xavier Gibson clip in the preview, so I think we're gonna see these fringe guys who made the roster, like Brownlee and Gibson and guys like that. I think we'll see those conversations, which will be pretty cool.
We got a bearded VTer coming in and says Green Bean needs to sexy voice over the Milk Thumbs animate. So I didn't tell those guys that I was making the animation. So I didn't want to like call Green Bean at like 1 a.m. and be like, yo, talk sexy to me in your Milk Thumbs voice. Because his wife would be like, who the hell are you talking to? It's like, oh, it's just Ryan. But I wanted to surprise him.
What would I say?
I don't know. It's like, ooh.
Milk me, baby.
Milk me.
Milk my thumbs.
Milk my thumbs. Which reminds me.
Milk thumbs.
Hit those milk thumbs, boys and girls.
That was good. That was a good time.
So ridiculous. We got Buffalo Jet fan in the chat. What's up, Buffalo? He says, dang,
dude.
What did I do with the crying face? I don't know. What happened? What did we do? What did he do?
That bastard?
Yeah, I don't know.
What did you do?
Yeah, what did you do? I don't know what this means. That's all right. We're happy to have you in here. David D drops in with a super chat, says, for my pop, love you, Dad. NY Jets Super Bowl champs. Let's hope so, dude.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for hopping in.
Well, for your dad, right on, man. And I don't know if that means your dad has passed or whatever.
That's sort of the vibe I got from that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's with us, dude. And if he's just some crotchety old miserable Jets fan on a couch, like so many dads that I know, for him too. It's for all the older Jets fans, all the guys that never got to see a Super Bowl or that have been waiting 60 plus years. I mean, I'm 40. This is my 41st year of Jets fandom, and that's bad enough. All those guys that became Jets fans with Namath. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, damn, man. I hope this
especially
season...
it was like just after Namath, like right after the Super Bowl. It's like never got to see one.
Right. Well, then they got to see his 4,000-yard season at least. You got that.
That's true.
But no ring. Yeah.
But David, your dad could have the best seat in the house also. So he's with us.
Indeed.
MC Lean comes in with super chat, says, I could see them moving him and giving away a pick. So Kyler, if they could move him and get the contract off the books, I don't think that's going to happen for a quarterback. That's a tough thing to have to do. I feel like with a quarterback, you definitely have to get some kind of picks compensation. Like I would say the floor for Kyler Murray trade is probably going to be a first and a third, but I would expect probably 2 firsts. He's still a good quarterback. He's just not someone I trust to like give a monster contract to, which I do think is going to come into play with teams looking to trade for him as well. I think that's going to be a calculated effort. Buffalo hops in. He says the title of the stream. So I said, time for Buffalo to go down. That did not occur to me.
Oh,
Flew right over my head.
Yeah, that did go right over my head.
Look at that.
Right?
Oh, it took me a second.
Yeah, it took me until Buffalo said it for me to notice it.
Yeah, a few seconds. That's math to me. Like to connect in that. Well done, Buffalo. Well done, bro.
Very good. Very good. Tigo drops in, celebrating a month membership, says less than 1 week away. Who else is hyped? Who scores the first touchdown for the Jets? Think a short 3-yard run up the gut for Hall. I'm so excited. Tigo and I are going to be there. I'm excited. Tigo, we're getting our parking passes soon, but very, very pumped to get there for week 1. As far as who scores the first touchdown, is it Brees? Is it Cook? Is it Wilson? Is it?
Well,
I get like if I were to throw $5 on it, because that's what I'm just gonna say. If I'm gonna throw $5 on it, I'm gonna say Conklin. I think Conklin's the one that gets the first touchdown.
That's a really good answer.
It is.
Right? I think they're going to utilize the tight ends a lot.
I agree, and I think it's about damn time, quite frankly. We are stocked with tight ends, and I'm looking for a big year from our big boys. But I tell you, if you guys don't know about that Jet X Factor bet jersey thing, you should look into that. You bet $50 on this betting app, and they send you $150 Fanatics voucher that you get a jersey. So it's worth it, even if you. But I did put a bet down. Granted, I'm a gambling addict, and I really shouldn't be doing that. It's very, very gray, but I don't care about the bet. That's the thing. I'm doing it for the jersey. So there's my hole. Okay, that's the hole I slithered through. But the bet that I did is this. And so I picked Garrett Wilson to score the first touchdown in the game, and I think it's solid. It's a solid bet. You know, evidenced by what we saw in the preseason when the offense came out. Aaron Rodgers, first thing they did, Garrett Wilson. The first touchdown, Garrett Wilson. So I think that's something that's I think it's a good chance. It has a good chance to happen, and I want that to happen. I'd be just as happy if it's Conklin. Don't get me wrong, man. But maybe not just as happy, because technically speaking, I can win the bet. You know, which would be
you'd be more happy with Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit happier. $1,500 on a $50 bet. I'll take that all day, plus a free jersey. I'm going to start gambling, baby. Clearly,
Is that legit? Like, is it $50 to get $1,500 on Garrett Wilson getting the first touchdown?
Yeah, because the bet is all right. So the bet is Garrett Wilson to score the first touchdown and the Jets to win. So that's what it is. So
Gotcha.
I'm fine with that, right?
That's fine. So I think the Jets are going to win anyway.
Plus 3,000.
Okay.
So,
Billy.
Yeah.
It's not a bad bet.
No, it's not.
Matt, what do you think? First person score touchdown.
Didn't he say Conklin?
I said Conklin.
Ryan said Conklin. I really like Conklin, but I don't want to copy you. I'm going to go a different direction. I'll say a Dalvin Cook rushing touchdown.
Ooh, I like it. Jets up. Sends his first super chat ever. And I know I saw a few other first super chats in there as well that I, forgot to point out. But thank you so much for the other ones that were first timers as well. Jets Up says Broadway Bullies for team nickname. I like that.
I like that Broadway a lot. Bullies.
That's for like the whole team as opposed to like just the defensive line. I feel like we could beat up on everyone being the Broadway Bullies.
I'm telling you, man, you guys got to reconsider the Green Gobblers for the defensive line.
Speaking of Green Gobblers, join the OnlyFans. Yeah.
But imagine us in the stands. Everybody can go gobble, gobble. No?
Oh, geez. Blitz Crew says first touchdown, swing pass to Nick Bawden. I like that. That's an outside the box kind of thinking right there. Or like a fullback dive. Like it looks like we're gonna sweep it out to like Breece Hall, or Breece is like lined up out wide to the left. Cook does the sweep out to the left. We like fake flip it to him and then do that, fake fullback dive. And everyone's moving one way and we shift it the other way. Well, actually, it's got to be a pass, right? Or no, it could be a run. I don't know. Bawden getting it would be totally outside the box, though.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah. I got to tell you, I'm
DJ
liking
Reed.
Broadway Bullies. I'm sorry. I like Broadway
no, go on.
Bullies. I'm just saying, I kind of like that one. Grew on me fast. I like that.
That's a good one.
Jets Up. Good stuff.
Knifey Spoony comes in, says, if Jets win the coin toss, offense or defense on the field first? We were talking about this a little bit earlier. I think we kind of landed on defense first, set the tone early, and get the ball back after half. I think that's more important. Like, everyone's going to be amped up to see Rodgers regardless of when he takes the field. So let the defense set the tone against Allen first, and then you go into the bludgeoning with Aaron Rodgers. NYC Superfan comes in, says, We are going to hear JETS, 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 echoing throughout Allegiant Stadium, the Super Bowl, on the opening kickoff. You guys are awesome. Go Jets. Dude, I hope we get to see 2 games in Las Vegas this season. Green Bean, do you think... I don't even know how to word this. This is just such a great statement by NYC Superfan. I can't even really...
It's good.
Toss it.
Well, let me say this. I agree. I am firm on my prediction, everybody. I am
20-0?
predicting confidently 20-0 Super Bowl victory right from Allegiant Stadium. The Jets will get on a plane and fly to the Miami Dolphins, 72 Miami Dolphins meeting place, and steal all their champagne, and it will be ours immemorial.
It would be so magical if the Jets could beat like the Dolphins record forever, like cap off the win that the Patriots couldn't cap off.
Yes.
And then like to rub a little salt in the wound, we got that trophy that Buffalo doesn't have anything of. So
it's got to be us.
Oh, it'd be so perfect.
It's got to be us.
Poetic justice.
It would make all the pain, Matt. It would make it worth it.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would never complain ever again. The Jets could basically go like defeated the rest of my life, and I would be happy.
I said, Jet says, drink it on Shula's grave.
That's right. Right. Rub it in.
Yeah.
Douglas comes in with a super chat. Douglas says, first touchdown by Quinnen, sack, fumble, recovery for a touchdown.
Oh my.
That'd be wonderful.
Dude, that's a plus 38,000 bet.
Yeah, I mean,
$1 gets you 38 grand.
Does anyone remember what the odds were on what was that? Was it a safety, the first score of that Super Bowl, Denver, Seattle? I think it was safety. Or was it defensive touchdown, maybe? It was really wonky, like the first score of that Super Bowl.
Yes, it was. It was a snap over Peyton Manning's head, I think, on the first play. And then it ended up being a safety.
Yeah.
That was such a weird game.
That was a horrible game. That was one of the worst Super Bowls I've ever seen. That was the New York one, too.
Yep.
Ugh. Jacob comes in. Jacob says, would y'all start in fantasy, Cook or Brees? So I actually did take Brees Hall in a few leagues, and that's like probably frowned upon from a fantasy perspective because we're going to have a nice little split running back by committee, but I really believe in Brees. I think he's going to be really friggin' good, and that's not to say Cook's going to be bad, but I think the Jets are going to run this offense. As much as we have Aaron Rodgers, I think it's going to go through the ground and pound game. So, Matt, I know you're a big fantasy guy. Would you start Cook or Brees?
If I'm given the 2 options, I would probably start Dalvin right now over Brees, just because I think they might take Brees a little bit slower, coming off the ACL. Ask me that in 4 weeks from now, that answer could very well change. But I think in week 1, if my option was I could either do Cook or Brees, I guess I would put Cook in the lineup.
Yeah, I feel like if you frame it as a week 1 option, I do think Cook is the right move for week 1, especially because he's going against his brother. I feel like there's that little extra juice right there where it's like, okay, we're going to keep Brees on a pitch count, where Cook you may not necessarily feel the same way about. MC Lean says, first score is McDonald's sack safety on Josh Allen.
There you go.
This defensive line is hungry.
Could you imagine? Could you honestly imagine if our first round draft pick, that many of us were bewildered when we heard young Kyle Stickles say his name in front of the world, if he comes out first series, sacks Josh Allen, strip sack, picks it up and runs it in the end zone, I might not be able to, you might see me literally explode.
It'd be incredible. I mean, the looks on our faces when we took Will McDonald was like, who? Is this guy linebacker? What? It's like, oh, wait a second. This guy's an edge rusher. Even still, it's like, we were talking before the draft, and we're like, what position would you be kind of irritated if you took? And we were saying edge rusher because we're so loaded at the positions. Like, I guess maybe edge rusher. Definitely didn't.
Well, and we used a first round pick the year before, and we were stacked. It's like, I mean, for so many years, it really is a funny thing because, and I was on board with the complaint department of, we need to draft a damn edge. That's why I was so upset in the 2022 draft. I can't believe we're ignoring edge rusher again. And then this year it was the one position. It was like, we're definitely not going edge rusher. And then when it happened, I was like, I didn't know what to do.
What just happened? Dude, your
What
reaction to
just
that was
happened?
great.
Yeah, I
Does
mean,
the
I didn't
best.
want to ruin. And Kyle Stickles had us all revved up. We were all
Oh, dude.
excited.
That was all gas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know
He
what's
has
so
just as
cool
much
about-
energy in person too. Like when we met him at training camp, kid was fired up.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. What's so cool about that too is like here he is. He's Make-A-Wish. He overcame cancer and everything. And what you expect is a nice, soft, just kind of. And he just showed the world. Jets fans, doesn't matter. We're different, man. We're not right in the head. And even at that young age, it's like there's another level that we bring to the table, man. And it's like he just did us so proud. It was I can't even, I couldn't deal. But then to follow it with Will McDonald, it was like, wait, what just happened?
What?
But that would be a great way to start the season.
Right?
Tell you that.
I think so. Let's take it. Let's have it any which way. Defensive score would be wild. Just Win Jet says, do we trade for Mike Evans before week 1? So I guess let's frame this in the way of wide receivers in general. If a trade's going to happen, Matt. Now, obviously, we're getting very close to week 1. There's not going to be much practice time if it does happen. What do you think? Do you think this happens earlier in the season if there is a trade for a wide receiver?
No, I think it will be like Braylon Edwards, early October. He comes in, plays on Monday night again, or Sunday night rather, against the Kansas City Chiefs in week 4, like that kind of thing. I don't think we're getting a trade in the next 36 hours to get him ready to go in time.
Greenby, what about you? What do you think happens with a trade for a wide receiver? When would it happen?
It's not happening before week 1. I'll tell you that. We're running out of time. But I think the trade deadline is the Halloween, right? October 31st, I think it is.
Yeah, that sounds right. It's right around there.
Yeah, I think we'll see a few weeks, and if it's apparent that we need one, I think that'll go. But let's imagine for a second that Garrett Wilson is Garrett Wilson, Lazard is doing his Lazard things as the number 2. Mecole Hardman's filling the role, and then we get a little bit out of Brownlee and Gibson, and they're using the tight ends, and maybe we don't, maybe they don't feel like we need to use any capital. But if we did, I think it would be closer to the trade deadline than not, barring injury, of course.
Yeah, I agree. I think if an injury happens, that might accelerate the timeline quicker. But I do think trade deadline is when it's more likely to happen. When you have Tampa Bay saying, okay, well, we're not going to beat New Orleans in our division. Baker's not the guy. We're going to try and get some ammo for next year. Now let's move Mike Evans because we're not going to, obviously negotiate the contract anymore. Then I think the Jets get him around, the trade deadline. I think that's a realistic possibility. Jets Forever came in. He said, y'all hated the McDonald pick. Don't love him now.
Bullshit.
Look, I
can do anything we want
to change my opinion based on new information provided. At the time,
right.
I'm thinking linebacker.
What is this?
Even edge rusher. I thought this was a pick for next year, even though the Aaron Rodgers trade was a trade for this year. Like, I didn't want to waste a first-round pick on something that wasn't going to happen this year, but this dude's looking legit, and Broderick Jones is second team. So I am wrong all damn day on Will McDonald, and I'm fine with it.
Hey, Jets Forever. Only a Sith speaks in absolutes, my friend. Okay? We're Jedi. We're not Sith. We can do whatever
Matt,
we want.
You want to respond to Mr. Jets Forever here?
Sorry, Green Bean, for what I'm about to say, but how's Denzel Mims look? He's out of the league right now. So I don't know if you should be chirping us right now, Jets Forever. Because he's leading the charge. I know Green Bean is guilt by association, but Jets Forever is leading the charge on guys who's going to be out of the league in 5 minutes. So I want to hear it from Jets.
I know, and just the whole premise, like Ryan said, dude, here's the mark of an intelligent human being. Somebody who can change a previously constructed opinion when new information is presented. If you're stuck just because last year I had an opinion, and even though everything's changed, I made an opinion last, so I have to stick. That's the mark of somebody who's stubborn. Stubbornness is not considered a positive trait. So malleable, fluid. That's what you want to be. It wasn't the pick we wanted. So what? You look at him, he looks good. You pay attention, you do some research, he's jumping over cars, he's riding skateboards, all kinds of fun stuff. And you go, hey, on second thought, I like this guy. It's okay.
I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong. I'm totally open to that. Like even in like work stuff, like, hey, look, I do processes one way. If you think you got a better way to do it, let me know. Let's change the process and make it easier on everyone. It makes like life so much easier. And I feel like opinions are the same way. Like everyone's got one, and the one dude that's got to back himself into a corner and defend it to the death. Like, dude, it's okay to be wrong. Like, admit it. It's fine.
It's okay. Yeah, there's freedom in it too. You go, you know what? On second thought, I was wrong there, and everybody goes, "Oh, okay." It's like, yeah, you were wrong. I know. I said, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. Okay, like, what do you do from that? Nothing. It's over.
Blitzcrew Hobson says, any chance we don't trade for a wide receiver? Sure, yeah, there's a chance we don't trade for one. If Mecole Hardman really shows out and Lazard looks good and Garrett Wilson looks good and everyone's healthy, then I don't think we're making a move for a wide receiver. I would say there's a chance, and someone brought it up on the call-in show yesterday, and it didn't even like occur to me, but if the Bucks were like in sell mode, could Wirfs be up for grabs at some point, and then maybe Becton slots over at left tackle in the event Brown goes down? Never even considered that. I don't even know if that would be realistic because you got to pay two big men tackles then, like big contracts.
That would, I think they'd want to build around him.
I think
they got to protect Caleb Williams.
Yeah, right. Like he can't, or Kyler Murray, or whoever they're going to end up with. Yeah, I don't know, but I think there's a good chance we.
You guys. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I think there's a good chance we don't trade for a wide receiver as well. Like I think it's equally possible either way.
It's very possible. Dude, imagine this. Imagine if, like I was kind of saying this before, but I don't remember what happened. But imagine if Brown, Lee, and Gibson, you don't need them right away to do this, but like throughout the season, like they develop into reliable guys that you see, they have the potential to, continue to develop, but they're already role players, and Aaron Rodgers, trusts them, trusts their hands, trusts their, that they're going to be where he wants them to be. Wouldn't that be delightful that you don't need to do anything? It's just depend on your own development, your own scouting.
Oh, yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
Give me Jericho Cotchery. I'd be tickled pink with a Jericho Cotchery right now. Like, I don't need star-studded, wide receiver room all over the place. Give me someone solid, reliable. Dude pulls like a hamstring or whatever, diving sideways, trying to catch a ball. Love me some Cotchery.
Oh, my God.
J-Boy.
They just
him wanting to leave.
Yeah.
Right.
J-Boy says, Hollywood Brown, October 31st. First game is week 9. So, yeah, you guys could see the first opportunity for this new Jet wide receiver at the Jets-Chargers group buy for the Talkin' Jets panel. Week 9. Hollywood Brown. Trade. What do you think, Matt? Would you trade for Hollywood Brown?
I think there are a lot of people who are very, very down on Hollywood Brown, and I don't quite understand it. I'm not saying that Hollywood is a number 1 wide receiver by any stretch of the imagination, and he is a wide receiver who does have some issues, but would he not be the second best wide receiver on this team immediately if you acquired him? If I like other options significantly better, but I'm not going to just scoff at the idea of adding a Hollywood Brown caliber of wide receiver. I think that's a little bit harsh.
Yeah, for sure. Greenby, what do you think? Would you add Hollywood Brown? Is that like a player on your radar, or are you thinking other receivers first?
Well, yeah, I'd be fine. Yeah, I'd be fine with that. But I also, if we're gonna do one, obviously the Devontae Adams dream is just the most juicy that you can grab a hold of. How unrealistic it is, and all that sort of stuff. But I love the idea of Mike Evans, man. Mike Evans, I loved him coming out. I think he's just maintained that status as one of the better receivers in the league his entire career, and quietly in some respects. But I think adding a guy like that, who's not known as a diva and has none of that garbage associated with him. Now the problem with him is he wants, what does he want? 40 million
Cooper
a year,
Cup money, 3 years, 80 million.
Yeah, so there's an issue. So, but I would love to see, if we're going to do that, Mike Evans is at the top of my list.
Yeah, I would feel the same way. I would say Evans is at the top of my list. Then I might put Boyd next, honestly. I feel like Tyler Boyd's high on my list. I like
Ooh,
Mooney. I like Hollywood Brown. I'd be pumped with either one of those guys as well.
Mooney.
Yeah, I feel like
Boyd.
Mooney and Brown fall in the category of like, okay, Hardman didn't work out. Let's try to get an upgrade from whatever Hardman is. Where Boyd is kind of like a different type of wide receiver. And since he's the third wide receiver on Cincinnati, if there's some sort of sideways season that happens, maybe Burrow goes down with an injury and they're like, okay, look, we're not making it this year. Let's trade off a part. We already got to pay Burrow a ton of money. We got to pay Chase a ton of money. Like there's just not enough money to go around. I would like that. But Evans provides, like Green Bean said, stability, reliability, and just like he's been a captain forever. No drama, always taking less money to win rings. He's the guy I'd want. MC Lean comes in with the super chat, says, Jets forever, can't even talk. Zach and Mims truther. Sorry, Jets forever. Got the ban hammer from Matt. I saw that in there.
Just 5 minutes in the slammer. That's all.
Ooh, that's what we should do. We should call it something like, I guess that's equivalent to like the Shadow Realm. We gotta come up with something different. Can't take Jake's.
The not talking Jets.
The not doesn't roll off the tongue as easy.
Yeah.
No, it's
Put him on an
little
island.
cumbersome.
Boom. Send him to like
Yeah.
a little palm tree island or something like that. Maybe we'll do that. City Bird.
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out of here.
There you
I
go.
love it. I love it. City Bart comes in and says, why does every media outlet praise Sauce, Brees, Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, AVT, etc., then go on and say the Jets can win 9 wins at most? So confused with these people. It's because they're having double speak and they're so excited about having the Jets possibly fall short of a Super Bowl. Like they're going to say, oh yeah, the Jets should be Super Bowl favorites or should be, in the conversation. But then also, oh, they're going to find a way to Jets it up. And it's going to be one of those things because they want the Jets to be in it for the ratings, but they want to cause controversy to stir up all us, fans and get all their clicks and media, whatnot, and BS. So that's why they're doing it, City Bird. Greenman, you agree with me? Is that what they're doing?
I do. Yeah, absolutely. I wonder sometimes. I see Twitter threads and, chat box under video, and I just peruse and I see people getting, still to this day, we get so up in arms as a fan base. And it's like, to me, it just seems clear, like they're poking, they're trying to stir us up, and it works very, very well. But I think they're also covering bases. But they can say that we have good players. And like you just said, Ryan, and the Jets are still the Jets. We've had good players before and we blow it. Even if we make it to the AFC Championship game, we blow it. We have 4 of those. We had 2 consecutively the last time we were good, and we blew it. So the Jets find a way to be the Jets, and that's what they're kind of leaning on. The hope is that, Joe Douglas, Robert Saleh, Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Sauce Gardner, those Quinnen Williams, those types of players and people in the organization legitimately overcome all of that Jetsy stuff. I mean, what Joe Douglas has focused on, with not only the talent, but the character, the work ethic behind these guys, and, kind of limiting the diva. We found out that Elijah Moore wasn't what he was billed, with that whole, it doesn't matter if I get stats, it's all about winning. And then that was not the case with him at all. But generally speaking, I think he's done a real good job of kind of compiling a roster filled with hardworking, team-oriented guys. Look at our defensive line rotation. Did we hear anybody complaining about getting less snaps, less glory for themselves? No, it was all about team. And we complained as fans, but the Jets didn't complain. Though, the players weren't. We didn't get any rumblings of Quinnen Williams being upset that he wasn't going to be out there 90% of the snaps or anything like that. We didn't hear any of that. So we have a roster built with team-oriented guys, hardworking guys, good work ethic, excuse me. And I think that's the type of mentality that can overcome this sort of stuff. Like the Rex Ryan years, as exciting as they were, a lot of talking, a lot of Cromartie, a lot of Bray Bray, a lot of Santonio, a lot of Rex. And that was fun, and we did great things. But I think this has the potential to actually go the distance. And that would be a bummer to a lot of people out there.
Real quick, I see some comments in the chat. Nickname for the D-line, Rush Hour. I think that's kind of cool. That's fun. I do really like the no-fly zone for where we could send people. Like, you're going to the no-fly zone. Put them in the hangar was another one. That I feel like could come off wrong, saying hangar, but that's all right. Matt, your thoughts why the media outlets praise our young weapons and Rodgers, but say the Jets can win 9 games at most?
I don't know. They're silly. That's why. I don't have a good answer. I wish I did have a better answer for you, but I don't know.
Blitzcrew's got the answer right here. He says the media people are the reason Jets streamers are so successful compared to other bases. Streamers can potentially see the good. Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to put that because, one, all of us started our channels because we're fed up with the media anyway. And two, if you look around at other fans, like content creators, there's just a very strong Jet presence when compared to like other teams' fan base. Like other teams have like I feel like the Dolphins, the Eagles, the Bills, they all have like some decent teams, but like the Jet content community is strong. And I feel like the media plays a big part of that. Well put, Blitz.
Yeah, because they suck so bad.
Knifey Spoony coming in the super chat said, did you guys hear Florio say to keep an eye on Aaron Donald as a potential deadline move? Not a need, but how sick would it be having him and Q, LOL? I mean, it'd be really cool, but if there's going to be a player getting traded from the Rams, I would think Kupp would be on the short list of players that the Jets would consider if you're looking at wide receiver options. I don't know. Green Bean, is there someone on the Rams that you would kind of be eyeing? I can't see Donald ever. Like, I don't think we would be in on Donald.
No. But just to play fantasy land for a little bit. Yeah. Could you imagine it? Yeah. I mean, that would be borderline unstoppable, especially when you add the ends that we have, whether it's Jermaine Johnson, Huff, McDonald, Lawson, whoever. That would be insane. Imagine now. Let's. What would you do if you win the lottery? What if we got Bosa, Aaron Donald, and Quinn?
We were talking about we got Bosa, we got Aaron Donald next to Quinn. Imagine that D line.
Could you? I mean, I just again like you have to allocate resources where you have to. You need to have the ability to fortify all areas of the team, and our defensive line. While not having Aaron Donald, we do have Quinn and Williams, and having them both, I think, is what we would call a luxury. But damn, man, those two together, I don't know who could stop it, honestly.
Matt, what do you think?
Nobody.
Aaron Donald, is he coming here, or what other Rams player would you want over here?
I would prefer a wide receiver. So I guess in that scenario, Cooper Kupp or that's the receiver that I'd want from them. But I love Aaron Donald. He's great, but I don't think another interior player is what the Jets need.
Scott says Hard Knocks is starting in 20 minutes. So yeah, we're going to hop off here in 10 minutes time, which reminds me, make sure you click on the pinned comment in the live chat to join the Discord. All you have to do is join it and you'll be entered to win a jersey, a t-shirt, coffee mug. I missed Blitzcrew's email last week, so I've sent him his mug yesterday. Sorry, Blitzcrew. Going through all stuff and I'm just like, totally missed it. I feel like a jerk. I was like, oh, you got to email me. I already did. Stupid Ryan.
Shame.
Missed stuff. So make sure you join the Discord. I see 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐞𝐬𝐫𝐞𝐿𝐫𝐾 in there. He's typing something. Enter my boys. Oh, no, that's what he just typed in. Fear is Grim just joined. Artec. Honest Abe. JT. Floyd's dad. Omar. Yankee Jet.
Yankee Doodle.
Yankee Doodle. I think Omar's got 2. I think he's joined 2. I like it. The One Gray. Weaker. I don't even know how to pronounce the rest of that name. Dwerty. Baby Bear. Archangel. Sammy 9mm. 406840 _ That's a ridiculous name. Glad to have you, though. Jay Cons. Glad to have you. Jet Bean, Salem, Chris Bradigan. So many people hopping in. Love seeing it. And while you're looking at the pinned comment, also while you're over there, make sure you hit those milk thumbs.
Milk thumbs.
Yeah.
Milk thumbs. CityBert dropping in says, media say our O-line has issues when other teams like Jags are worse. Besides, hasn't it been proven O-line is more function of the quarterback and the system? So I would say this, at least our division of the offensive line units, I feel like we're all sort of ish clumped around the same. I don't think anyone's overly dominant versus another team. So that kind of bodes well. Also, Aaron Rodgers, to CityBert's point, how fast did he get the ball to Garrett Wilson on that first snap? Like,
oh yeah,
ball hit his hands, ball was out of his hands, like immediately. You can't get to the quarterback if he gets the ball out that fast. You get guys that can get open that quick. Matt, what do you think about our offensive line? And is it a function of the quarterback in the system more than it is the O-line?
I definitely think it's part of it, right? Like, I do think Aaron getting the ball out significantly faster than Zach is going to help things, and him just being a smarter quarterback in general is going to help things. And that's not to say that, if they suffer a couple injuries, they might be in rough shape. I think that's exactly the case. But if the 5 who are projected to start on opening night, minus maybe swapping Joe Tippmann in at some point, but if the tackles and guards remain the same throughout the season, then I think the Jets will be in pretty good shape on the offensive line.
Green, what about you? How are you feeling about the offensive line? Do you think it's more of a product of the quarterback and the system more than it is the O-line itself?
Well, I think they work in concert, right? I mean, if you have an offensive coordinator who's just insists on 7-step drops when the offensive line might not be gelled or has some weak spots and everything, that's obviously going to put a lot of pressure on the offensive line. Where you have a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, who's, he has a quick release, can identify and recognize pressures and all that sort of stuff. I think it definitely helps the offensive line. So the offensive line is going to, it's very clear. A good offensive line is going to help the quarterback, but I think a little bit less considered aspect is how much the quarterback can help the offensive line. We saw there was I forget which play it was. There was one play in particular where Laken Tomlinson kind of got he got blown up. And Aaron Rodgers recognized that instantly and tossed the ball. And so that never really got discussed in any great detail because it didn't look like pressure. But if that was Zach back there, it's a whole different game because of the inability of the quarterback to kind of recognize that and respond appropriately instead of running backwards like we've seen. So I think it works both ways.
Willie Vision says 23-17 Jets and Hall and Cook go over 50 yards and a touchdown apiece. I feel like that's a good over-under for them. And I do think that we are going to – I was on the round table this past week, and they were asking which quarterback in the AFC East has the most touchdowns, and I did not go – Richie and I both said it's not going to be Aaron Rodgers purely because I think the Jets are going to be running the ball more frequently. So this kind of falls in line with my thought process. It's going to be under the points over-under, which is like 46 or 47 points, and it's going to be a heavy dose of running the ball. So I'm on board with Willie Vision here. Matt, what are you thinking? Touchdowns from Hall and Cook and both over 50 yards?
I don't think both go over 50 yards. I think one does. So whichever of the two gets the more carries, my guess will be Dalvin, but I'm thinking like 8 carries for 45 yards for Hall in the first game and maybe a couple catches added on top of that. 23-17, that sounds like a good score to me. I'm right in that same boat. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. And Tua and the Dolphins have the Chargers in week 1, right? I think
the Dolphins have the Chargers, the Patriots have the Eagles, the Bills have the Jets.
So then my pick would be Tua for most.
That's exactly where we were going with that. Green Bean, your thoughts? 23-17 Jets, Hall and Cook go over 50 yards and a touchdown apiece.
Yeah, I think that's realistic. I like it. I think that's good. 23-17, I'll take it. Hall and Cook, that's a hundo for the running backs. Touchdown each. Why not? That sounds delightful to me, Willie Vision. I like this.
Vamilton Fung bringing up some scary news for some people. Anyone else with Charter/Spectrum cable afraid that the Monday Night Football game will be blacked out because it's on ABC? So there's a contract dispute with the cable companies. I don't think it's actually going to get blacked out. I think what's going to happen is they'll come together in the final, 24 hours leading up to the game, and then, or whenever football starts, and then they'll get it all figured out. But yeah, that's a big contract dispute. People panic with that. I mean, YouTube TV lost SNY. It was like very close to bailing on them. And then I saw the price of regular cable, and I was like, well, maybe not. Greenby,
Yeah.
what do you think those contracts are something to be worried about? Talking about
Me, I don't-
ABC
Yeah,
and
I don't.
blackouts. I guess
It doesn't matter to
you.
me. No, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not there, so I'm not hoping that happens for all you locals. But me, I'm always about 20 to 30 seconds behind anyway. So I was watching whatever method I'm watching, I'll be watching on YouTube TV for the lion's share of the games this year. Obviously Monday night. Yeah, I guess that'll be YouTube TV as well for me. So I don't know. I don't think so. It's too big, dude. Too big of a deal. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. MC Lean says, I missed his super chat. I don't think it popped up on my side for some reason. So I definitely clicked out of it, but I see it over here. It says, I know it's not advertised to meet your heroes, but where are you guys going to be before the game? Loudest Jets chant in history, 9/11 JETS, 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 Jets. I am going to be, before the game, well, I'm going to make sure I'm in my seat no later than like 7:45. I definitely want to be locked in there, but I will be at the game with Tigo. I think Asman's going to be there. I know Richie's going to be over there. I'm excited. Green Bean, are you going to be at that concert, or are you going to be home watching the game?
No, I'll be live. I'll be live right here on this channel for that game. I can't make it all the way to New Jersey for the first opening day in a long time, which makes me very sad. I went through some clunkers, man. I endured some bullshit, and this is the one I would really want to go to. But unfortunately, I cannot. So we will be doing, for all of you folks that can't be at the stadium, we'll be right here live. And you should hang, man. It definitely helps to be together. I mean, I've enjoyed it over the last 3-4 years or so. So yeah, we're gonna have a good time right here on Talkin' Jets.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. The Talkin, or the MetLife Stadium holds what, 80,000 people. YouTube can probably hold 1 million, 1 billion. We'll get them all in here, hanging out, break our record, most concurrent ever.
Amen.
Matt, where are you gonna be on game day?
Right here where I'm sitting right now.
I love
None
it.
wrong with it, Matt. None wrong with it.
Best seat in the house.
Amen.
All right. We are just 10 minutes before Hard Knocks. So let's go over to Discord. And I'm going to go. Let's see. How many people did we get since? All right. So you know what? I'm just going to go in. How do we want to do it? Do we want to say go in order of people who joined? Or do we want to go to like online people on the side and then just pick a random mass number? Because we've got, let's see. Sorry, Tigo, I'm skipping you. But we got 2 plus 8, that's 10. We got like 55 people in this section, which doesn't make any sense because we got 96 people total. So maybe I got to refresh something. All right, so let's do that. Let's pull up the spinny wheel as I remember to actually
Spin that wheel.
spin the wheel.
Yeah, nah, wheel.
It's going to be a jersey today. I feel it in my bones.
I can feel it. We've been waiting on the jersey. It almost happened the first time we did it too. That was pretty funny. Let's see, where's the spinny wheel? Got it somewhere over here. Boom! Giveaway box. Go into the spinny wheel. And let's see. We're going to start. We'll go with let's go with the new people that joined. So we're going to start from AJ Spaz. So anyone that's in the Discord that wants to see if this is rigged or not, that's where we're going to start. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So we're going to say 38 people that are right here in this contest. So let me change this number to 38. And we're going top down. Oh, where's the 38? There we go. All right. Random number generator says 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Dwerdy, DWERDY, member 87 in the Talkin' Jets Discord. You're winning something tonight. We're going to spin that wheel and then make sure you reach out to us either on the Discord or in, via email form. You can email me or the Talkin' Jets Gmail. Either one. Let's see what you get. Oh, whoa.
Oh, so close.
It was so close. Dwerdy gets a shirt. So Dwerdy gets a shirt. Make sure you reach out to his brother. Congratulations. Love seeing it. Let's go real quick. Green Bean, what do you want to see? Well, we won't say what do you want to see. Any last words for us before we head over to talking, Hard Knocks?
Green Bean Jets Pod 129 is out now on Green Bean Jets Fan, the other channel that is just sitting in the abyss. We're still releasing the podcast over there weekly, so you can go check that out. We're talking about, was this the greatest offseason in Jets history and the reasons why that might be the case? And you can see that over there.
Matt, any last words before we head over to Hard Knocks?
New episode of Just Jets comes out tomorrow. I discuss what is the biggest Jets season in 13 years. That is the topic.
Oh, man. Boys and girls, on your way out, don't forget to hit those milk thumbs. We'll see you guys back here for the after Hard Knocks stream. We're going to be recapping the final episode 5 of Hard Knocks, so make sure you tune in with us. This is Jets Talk signing off. JETS!
JETS! Jets!